Carry your sanitizer with you at all times. My hands are just about cracked and I'm going to have to buy some moisturiser soon. But it's just critically important again, as we've seen across, I think this week there have been in excess of 200 people across the AFLW landscape who have who are out due to health and safety protocols. So we know how important it is.
Okay, next one we'll look at GWS. They are fit, they are very strong, and they are very competitive. One thing you can guarantee against GWS is you are not going to get an easy game. They will have a crack all day, and they've worked pretty hard at their fitness, so it's one thing you can guarantee. This team, we know, are super contested and they won't give up. It won't be decided in the first quarter. What will be decided is our attitude and our application of starting. Last week we started really well. Like we said, today we bring our own energy. The warm-up's been great, just that there's been parts where it's been up, there's parts where it's been quiet. But the focus I can see looking back at it now gives me great confidence that we're going to get this job done.
It's not quite being put to her advantage early stages, but she follows up with a good tackle and she's going to be rewarded for holding the ball. See if she runs out to the right here. She does, and she delivers. And the Giants get the quick response. So Miller, she couldn't quite put it to her advantage, and then she was thrown off the ball. Houghton, though, snaps around the body, and she puts the Dockers back in front.
So we've got the game on our terms. This quarter is huge with the breeze. All right, really good first half. It's only half the job done. This is going to be GWS's best quarter for the game. We have to stand up to it, take it, and give it back to them.
Miller wants it directly in front, and she has it, and she was made to earn it. Parker towards the half-forward flank, Staunton raising up, attack that's strong, and really made Cuthbertson earn that. Looks like she's going to have a crack at the goals here. It's a high kick. It'll go right to the line, and McMahon, it might go all the way! And that is a special moment for Anne McMahon. And unfortunately for the Giants, no goals since quarter time, but the Dockers making an ominous statement away from home in a home game. And they finish round 2 on top of the AFLW ladder.
That gives us a good platform for our hub experience, to win that one, get it away, and then we rip into Richmond.
Off we go. Yeah. Oh, you got it. Good. Go. Yeah, Maggie. That's it.
Yes,
Take off.
good.
Last. Laura, get here. Yep, I'll have the ball. Thanks, mate. That's it. Let's go. Yep, go.
Yeah, so obviously yesterday was a really good win. Things went well, and the effort of the girls to overcome the travel and the different constraints. The mindset was really good before the game, and the result then looked after itself. So today, at the moment, we're here at Brighton Grammar, who've been kind enough to host us with the players who didn't play yesterday. We think that we're going to need them during this trip, and they were great in their support yesterday, so we're just getting them a really good session today so they're prepared to go when we play Richmond this week if we need any of them, and more than likely that will be the case. Particularly, we're hoping that everyone can stay safe. At the moment that is going well, but in the unfortunate circumstances where we do get some illness through the group, then we're going to need this group, and they also can really put up a hand for selection anyway based on their form. So the rest of the group will be down shortly to do their recovery session, and Brighton have been, it's going to be a perfect base for us for our time away, where we can train here, do our recovery and our strength, so the girls don't miss too much of the great facilities that we have at Coburn.
1, hard here once, 2, work hard baby, 3, up and out Laura, 4, 5. Remember girls, short sharp.
Jazz. Hey. Oh, pick up.
Yep, so this week it's kind of like the online, because I'm a teacher, so it's just PD stuff online, so we just zoom in to all the teachers back home who are obviously doing it in the classroom. So I'm working with Juddy, which is awesome. She gives me a little bit of shit, but that's all right. It's been pretty good. Both the school and the club have allowed us to work in the schedule pretty well. I think it also helps that the principal played AFL, so he's really supportive of everything we have to do, and if we have to finish work early or if we have to travel, they're really supportive. Yeah, so all but 3 of my family have tested positive to COVID. So most of them are out of isolation tomorrow, so it'll be good because they'll be able to come to the game on Saturday, so hopefully get more of a crowd there against Richmond.
Exactly the same program as what you've been doing, so if you don't know which one you're in, just ask me. This one is our General Blue, which are weaker/noodles. Did I always get you? Nah, sorry.
So we're at Brighton Grammar. We've just done a weight session and we're on our way to do our line review.
The game's done and dusted now. How's the feelings about 48 hours afterwards?
Yeah, feeling good. It's a really great win for the girls. The vibes were up and it showed throughout the game. And I think we've pulled up pretty well, so feeling great. 4 days into hub life, finally got a decent sleep, and I think everyone's settled down and yeah, probably not as energetic and restless as we were before.
Yeah, so we're all out at the driving range in Albert Park tonight. Turbo, worst on for sure. I told her to stick to football. Trent's pretty bad as well. And then Mac is pretty good, and Hayley's not bad. Yeah, so we did gym this morning, then we had a family dinner with Epps, Juddy and Hayley. It's our weekly ritual. We've done it the last 2 weeks and won, so we've got to keep the tradition going. And then we've finished up here at the golf course.
Our Safe Transition Plan, which I first announced in November, was developed based on the impact of the Delta variant. The plan was based on a 90% double dose vaccination rate to give us the best protection possible. Unfortunately, the world changed in December. Omicron arrived. We have reworked WA's Safe Transition Plan to fit the environment that now confronts us. WA's updated plan will begin to be implemented on February 5. We will keep our hard border controls in place. So from 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, February 5, the hard border will stay with new settings that will have a focus on both safety and compassion.
All right, we will chat briefly about the news last night, and then we'll get into it. As it stands at the moment, I know about as much as you. Obviously, it happened late Perth time. Late here. We've been in contact with the club, but obviously couldn't contact Wakepole or AFL at that stage. So what's going to happen is the club will be in contact with AFL and Wakepole this morning, and then by the time we get back, we'll have a hook up with the leaders to find out some info, and then we'll get it all to you. The session this morning is going to be really important to see where everybody's at, and to get, it's actually perfect to be doing a thing right now. We can't control anything for the next 3 hours, rather than just sitting around worrying about it. We actually get out to do something really meaningful, prepare
for Richmond.
Check at the moment. We just finished a captain's run before the Richmond game, so everyone's up and about. I was expecting some people to be a bit all out of sorts, but to their credit, we're all feeding off each other, so there's a really good energy around the group at the moment. We've never played Richmond before, so it's always good to tick something off, that historical list. But we've been training really, really hard and got a good couple of weeks under our belt of match practice, so yeah, excited to get out there and play.
So game day today, hence why we have to test. Usually have to test most days that we're training as well. So we go 5 circles or 15 seconds up one nose. Feels really nice. Five circles, 15 seconds. Not gonna sneeze like Driscoll. And then we dip them in here, where the little solution is. Little plug, goes in the end. And then here's like a little eyedropper. And it's 3 dots. Into a little testing kit. And now we set a timer for 10 minutes and we wait. I reckon as we kind of go on further into our stay here, we'll probably get a little bit more nerve-wracking, but I mean, it's not like we can really control it at this point anyway, so yeah. So I knew the press conference was happening, but I was like, nothing's going to be able to change for us, so I actually went to bed. I didn't even listen to it, to be honest. I woke up in the morning to a few messages from my fam and from Tash, so yeah, I mean, there's not much we can really do at this stage, and I guess no one really has that many answers for us at the moment either, so our main focus as a group has just been, let's just smash this game now. Let's keep our focus on this weekend and then kind of work out what the next week or so, week or two, are going to look like after the game. 10 minutes done. So we're all good. That apparently means no COVID. Thank goodness. One day down.
Like I said, this side's kicked 16 goals in the comp, first 2 weeks. Highest scoring team. I don't believe they've come up against the pressure that they can come up against today. We don't automatically get credited with pressure. You have to bring it. And that is all 21 of you as well. So make sure today that they get pressured like they haven't been before. They come out and pressured Melbourne last week. They were the ones who were dominant in that area, and Melbourne faltered a few times. That's what they'll be planning on doing today. Nothing worse for a side like that to come out and get put on their arse early, because our pressure's elite.
Miller of Fremantle goes right to the line. No one flew up for it. Antonio on the ground, snaps around the corner and got her first for the afternoon.
Brings the tap down again to O'Sullivan. Antonio, who's got that wonderful balk, gets to 50 with the breeze at her back. She's already kicked some unbelievable goals this season. Add that one to the highlight reel.
It's Benani, pops it up to the hot spot, off hands, O'Sullivan. Now it's holding the ball or a high. The holding the ball was the first. Never kicked a goal in her AFLW career. That looks pretty great off the boot. Does it have the distance? Oh, you bet it does.
In a flash, just when you thought Fremantle were getting away, the Tigers get it back to a point.
5 tackles for the quarter. 5. It's the lowest we've ever had. Everyone just wanted it easy. Gemma, their coaches all through the league will be showing you in that middle, I put you in the middle to give us a spark, for 3 minutes, you just walking, and then running forward and kicking 2 goals while you're standing in the middle doing all. That's not us. That is not us. We don't fly away all the way from home. We're here for however long we're going to be and then not bring effort. We've got this team cooked as long as we bring effort, and we didn't bring it that quarter. Probably got a bit lucky at the end of it. Now we've got a fight on our hands because we're going to have to work our asses off into the breeze, but we've now got a real fight on our hands, and that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to fight.
Overran the ball, good pressure from Houghton. That's going to be, it's a nice finish.
Good pressure by Houghton there, just to get the Richmond defender off the ball and let Tahakarena come in and do her thing.
Houghton been dangerous all afternoon, providing a lot of pressure. A little quick kick off the boot. That's a little snap from Michaela Hyde. Dribbles it through. And the onslaught continues for the Dockers.
That's actually really good because we had a good win, but I think there's a lot of learnings out of it. The way we shared the load in the forward line, it was really good in my opinion. Good spot up front, bounce back really solidly.
Open borders or not, they are a team that can win it in season 2022, and they showed their credentials this afternoon with a big win.
Put 20 of these to show you.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so you really have to be clean all the way through, and trying to get it works when you get the hand passes going at exactly the same time. So as you hit, it goes.
Winners, Dubs.
Yeah, just at St Kilda Beach, bit of recovery after last night's game. Yeah, it was so good to see my family. I think a few times I went to get the ball, it was a bit fumbly because I was right there and I was a bit nervous, but their support, they were so loud all game, and yeah, it was great to see them all. It was our second quarter was a bit slower, but then what the girls did in the last quarter was awesome. I think we got 5 goals and set us up for a really good win. 3 from 3, so it's great.
I actually did.
We broke the record for most number of individual goal scorers in the game, which is we had 9 individual goal scorers.
Yeah.
And that's our strength that makes it so hard for teams to play on us. So
yeah, I think that's a reward for effort across the day. Like, it's good to see you all get on the end of one. And you can see with that pressure in the first quarter, girls, they just couldn't take marks. They had 4 marks for the whole quarter. Second quarter we dropped off. They jumped right up to 12. Like, that's where they got their game going. You know, a lot of these sides that we play, that it's going to take probably a full day until you finally break it, and that's what happened again on the weekend. So good work, but we can't afford to have those lapses. But yeah, now it's time to park that. We did well, we got a win, but let's move on to the prize and full focus on them now. So let's get ready.
Let's go.
Get big.
Let's go get bigger. If it's impossible. It's not for you, Mickey. I'd be scared.
So we're going to keep you up to date as often as we can. So it's just the AFL that have given us some info on what we're trying to do. It's only a proposed fixture at this stage, and I've got to check my phone because you never know. Things are changing very quickly. Yeah, I'm going to respond to that. We're at a proposed fixture that's going to go to the AFLPA and the other clubs. So the proposed fixture is that we play games on 5-day breaks to smash out as many as we can, and then still leave when we're proposed to on the 5th of Feb. That would mean we play Thursday against Collingwood, following Tuesday against Western Bulldogs, and following Saturday against North Melbourne. We've said that we're okay with doing that from the club. I'm talking to Kate, talking to a few of the players. Yep, let's just smash it out. We've got a fit, healthy squad with really good depth. So we're happy to do that. So
when do you know playing on a 5-day break? So say with
good question.
And then Western Bulldogs, are they playing? Is that their weekend game?
Good question. We're not exactly sure yet, but we did say let's try to not do that. Collingwood, for instance, they'll be off a 6-day break. They played Friday. At the moment, if they're 5-day breaks, Kate's really confident that we can perform really well. It just means that training becomes more about recovery, a bit of touch.
On returning, a few of us will be potentially due for our 3rd dose of the vaccination. Is that something that we're going to be able to arrange?
Yeah.
Good
question. I reckon we've got a good chance.
Yeah, we've got a very good chance. Obviously, until we know what the schedule is with games, if they are shorter, then we have to consider do you get a jab and you're feeling unwell and those sorts of things. The timing around that's obviously critical, but in terms of access to it, we should be able to once we
getting
know.
Getting that a day after the game type of thing, I'd say.
Typically at the moment we're training in the mornings, which kind of works in quite well considering the time difference, because when I've got to chat to my clients and check in with everyone, I kind of need to be able to do it before their work hours or during their lunch breaks, or if it's a bit later, it'll be quite late at night. So that's worked in quite well so far. So at the moment it'll be training in the morning, and then I'll generally start the check-ins around sort of 12:30 our time in Melbourne, because that's roughly 9 a.m. in Perth. And while we're away, I set up a 4-week challenge for my clients just to keep them busy, give them something to stay accountable with and stay motivated with. And so at the moment on that one, I've got 21 people doing the 4-week challenge, and then outside of that, a lot of PTs switched onto online training. So I'll probably have about between 12 to 14 there as well. But the online sort of stuff is quite well set up. It's programs all done, same as the 4-week challenge, and I've got a bit of support on ground in Perth from another coach who's able to run a couple of classes for me each week. So yeah, it's always great to be able to check in with my clients, so have a chat. I feel like as much as it's checking on them, they're keeping my well-being a lot better over here as well. It's so good to be seeing how many girls can work remotely and how flexible employees are being, because again, it will just be another thing for girls to have to deal with. But so far, we're still in the period that we all knew we were going to be here for, so I guess it's kind of just business as usual at the moment, and then we'll see what happens later on.
We always like to do activation on game day morning for about 25-30 minutes. This time we've got the footies out, so that's good. Just a little bit of light touch, especially since we didn't have 2 training sessions this week. Only got 1, so warm up the muscles before we get stuck into it tonight. I know Collingwood had their captain back, and she's a really good player, and she gives a lot to their team in the way of leadership as well. So they'll be firing as we kind of expected, and we've got Jazzy and Slick back in. So again, 2 really great additions to the team, and both who can bring some great pressure. And I think if it is a little bit wet, it will suit us perfectly.
Everyone's grabbing the oars at the start and pulling. Doesn't even matter if it's not perfect. We'll get in sync as we go along. But make sure early on that we're all on those oars and all pulling hard. If we do that, we'll work them down. We'll wear them down. This head's break for us. We'll work on top of them, and we'll get that sync later on. But make sure early on, everyone's grabbing an oar. Let's go.
Can the ball sit? Malloy tried to lay a shepherd for Antonio, but what a tackle. Livingston's not going to give up too easily. Coughs it up. Coming through Miller. Oh, what a snatch away. Goes for goal from 45. Hayley Miller continuing on her red-hot form.
Alexander sees something she likes. Couldn't again hit a target, but it spills to Benici. She'll kick a goal.
put them under real pressure deep, because they don't like it there. We can put them under real pressure in that situation. Okay, we're not satisfied with that half. The effort's been great, everything there. We can still play better. I reckon we're getting close now. We're pulling the we're getting really close to getting all in sync. Okay, and really, I think we can actually. I was saying 4 goals 3. There's no reason we can't come off the park and absolutely blow them away this quarter. Let's go.
Can the ball sit? Got young Jess Lowe, beats Jess Lowe, then tucks it under the arm, but there's that tackle pressure from the Dockers. Fremantle, we know they can pile on a score and they love to get some metres gained. What about the mark from Roxy Rue? A foot race in a one-on-one, Houghton and Livingston. Houghton, she's kicked 3 behinds. Tanay, can she kick a goal? What a finish. The highlights just keep on coming for the Dockers. And in the end, it was an arm wrestle, but they've taken a big scalp in season 2022, the Dockers. They're not sure when they're heading home, but it doesn't bother them. They'll keep knocking off scalps, and they've taken a big one in the pies.
Alright, happy to go ahead?
Yep. Here we are. Let's do it. Do you want me just over here?
Yep, you can sit over there if you like.
Just getting my booster jab, Pfizer today. Obviously, if we want to be able to try and get back into WA, it's probably, I don't even know what the guidelines are at this stage, but it's probably hopefully going to help us do that. So hopefully we're feeling all good after. But I guess we've got another 4 or 5 days to recover before our next game, so that's why we're doing it so soon. Left, please. Cool.
Alright, so I'll just give you a 15-minute wait time.
Yep.
46. Just show that to Christina where you checked in and she'll pick you up.
Thank you.
15.
Cheers for that.
Alright, see ya.
Thanks.
The challenges associated with us being over here and the protocols in place is we can't go visit other teams and be, really close with, friends that we may be like that at home. So it is a challenge, but one in which I think we've done a really good job of maintaining the relationships as well, but being in a safe environment, which is the key to our team. We want to win, and we don't want to be in a position where we're putting the team at risk by jeopardising that with meeting other teams or people that potentially could come in contact with COVID. Yeah, with Mark getting a job at the Bulldogs and working over in Melbourne, one of those decisions was obviously for him to be able to see the boys. So although it's challenging in the circumstances, we've got the rat test daily with the boys, and Mark obviously has to do the same, but the boys socially distancing, trying to explain to them with the effects of COVID and how that impacts our relationship over here and the 10-year anniversary. It's certainly one that I never thought I'd be celebrating a 10-year socially distanced wedding anniversary, but we got through, and it's just really nice that they can still see Mark, and we can go for walks around the botanical gardens and still have that really amazing relationship that our family has.
We've had a look at the whole couple of weeks before we hopefully go back to Perth, and we've planned out the whole thing with a lot of rest days and a lot of recovery. So the athletes are really, really good on getting through their recovery protocols and making sure they do the right thing. A lot of ice baths, a lot of water, stretching, tights, all those sort of things. We're super lucky. We've got depth in our squad and very few injuries. So really, we have the luxury of picking from the majority of our squad and allowing players to rest for all different reasons. And that produces some good conversation as well. Do we rest because people are overloaded or for matchups and things like that? So in that respect, we've been super lucky to have a large squad, almost our whole squad, to pick from for the condensed fixtures. From an athlete perspective, obviously getting a little bit more rest and recovery, particularly in a contact game, that's a whole nother element to consider, the impact of the game, and we take that into account when we're thinking about the athletes in the condensed schedule.
Hi, my name is Tash. I am Ange's partner and I have flown in this morning to surprise her. We've been apart for just over a month now and it's looking like it'll be a little bit longer, so I thought it'd be a good idea to come along and surprise her.
Yeah, so it's been, I think the last time I saw Tash was New Year's Eve, which is what, I don't even know what date it is anymore, about a month. And they're in a similar boat to us. Obviously, like I said earlier, they're on the road trying to adhere to all these restrictions and doing it for the league so that the league can continue. But they actually just found out a couple of days ago that they'll be staying on the road for the remainder of the season. So that'll be another 5 weeks of regular season, and then they're top 4 at the moment. So they're knocking on the door of finals too, and that'll just sort of add to it. So I guess it'll just depend what happens with quarantine as to when they get home.
Honestly, it's been really tough. We rely on each other a lot, and the most amazing thing about being in a relationship with Ange is obviously she's the most incredible human being on this earth, but she also understands what it's like to be in this kind of situation. She's just such a calm presence, so not having her around has definitely been tough. I think the longest time apart has always been because of sport, and it was probably only a few nights. So I'm struggling so much. I'm currently using a pillow as her at the moment. But yeah, it's been a struggle. So it'll be absolutely incredible to see her today.
Did you miss her? Yeah, absolutely. Miss her like crazy. She's definitely my rock. She gives me a lot of support. What? Oh. Oh my God! I love you so much. You played. This is so frustrating. It's so mean. Oh my God! When did you leave? I thought you had. What did you say you had on today? What? How did you get here? Oh my God. Oh, Brett, you've done me over here. No, that's okay. Thank you so much. She hasn't seen my hair or blonde either. Oh God, pull it together, Ange. No, don't be sorry. When you were like, you sure you want to do this on game day? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Oh my God. Oh, this is the best surprise. Yeah. This is so hard. This is the best thing, but so hard. Who organised this? Who knew this? This is torture.
It's been a good week, good preparation, ready to go. From now on, we are going to get challenged every week. We don't get any easy games from now on, they're going to come out hard. So be ready for it. 4th chapter of our hub story. Okay, it's been a good one so far. We've worked through all different things to get to where we are today. The pressure is going to be the key today. We have to make sure we start really fast. I guarantee you they're going to start fast. If we can put the pressure on early and sustain it, it's going to be a great 4th chapter. Let's go.
Jess Webster to get us underway. It's going to be the survival of the fittest. Here's Antonio, loves the balk, a sidestep from a standing start to the top of the goal square. Franklin's got it! So Amy Franklin makes sure of it, and she celebrates with a clenched fist, and her teammates come from all around to celebrate.
Let's get another chance for the Dogs. Too good with the tap. Oh, Lamb, snap around goal! And she's got it! All of a sudden, the margin. It's back to 2 points.
Let's go, girls.
All right, we need. So the forwards, the first half of that quarter was good. Then they started to get on top of us. They will tire as long as we work them over. It might take until the last 5 minutes before we start kicking 2 or 3 goals, but we have to work them over in that time. This is the quarter we stamp our authority on it and get it back on our feet.
The Dogs are coming. Fremantle defence under the pump as Pugh goes one way, then the other. Goes to Miller. She has 3 to beat. Rises high. Once, twice, yes. Ball to be won here. The pressure is immense out there at the moment. Contest after contest, these players are throwing everything at it.
Well played by Hardwick. Hardwick goes to ground. That was a mistake. Antonio in the pocket. She can do anything, everything. Antonio from the impossible angle. She's a genius. Sacrifice and celebration, and the never-ending road trip is providing plenty of unforgettable memories for the undefeated Dockers. They're 5 from 5 in season 2022.
I need a run.
Right, yeah, we won.
Yeah, it was a funny one. I've said to a few people we've probably cashed in that get out of jail free Monopoly chip.
And Hayley got the group together at the end of the game. Talk us through some of that conversation.
Yeah, she just said, you know, whilst we got the win, good job, but we're not satisfied with that win. She just said, you know, it's a bit of focus, a bit of a mental switch, and that we need to be ready for that North Melbourne game coming up. I think we're all really excited just to tick this one off and then get back home. North Melbourne are another really good side, and people are probably writing us off, so we like that underdog status.
So we've pretty much been told we are allowed to quarantine in Perth for the 2 weeks, so we're just trying to find Airbnbs at the moment. So it's looking like between kind of 2 to 4 of us girls in a room, in a house in Perth. A few girls like Cara and Epps are going to stay at home, like Turbo will stay at home with her family, and then a few girls are going to isolate with their partners who also will have to do the 2 weeks. So the club and I guess the AFL were looking into kind of like a resort where we could hire out the whole resort. Unfortunately there wasn't any in Perth available at the moment, and then they looked at like a hotel, but it would have been pretty difficult. We would have just been restricted to our rooms. So this way, we're in Airbnbs and have a backyard and a bit more freedom outside. So we're hoping to train at Optus Stadium. They're going to set up a gym for us there. Hopefully use the ice bath, and then all our training will be done at Optus. Yeah, so game day today, we got our flight at about 10 to Tasmania, so we're just going for like activation walk in the morning, might get the footies out later. So obviously getting on the plane with North, pretty nervous to be honest. I kind of feel like I have a bit of a point to prove, I guess, being overlooked by them for a few seasons and then obviously getting picked up by Freo. So yeah, I'm pretty nervous but keen to get out there.
Control of the footy is going to be really important. We nullify their work through the midfield, through the corridor, get our turnovers going through the midfield, and we score on the way back.
All right, it's been a big trip. U21 get the opportunity for the jump and finish it off. Okay, for all the people that have worked hard to get us here, the non-playing players, and everyone back in Perth who have been supporting us.
And now another opportunity for the Dockers. Runnalls, again being busy.
Oh, and it spills to Mia King. No, it isn't. It's Abertangelo who gets the first goal of the game.
If it sits, she's going to be up against the boundary line. Doesn't blaze away for home. Unselfishly saw Houghton on a lead. Either the drop punt or the check side. She goes for the drop punt. She uses that left to right breeze.
We have to be ruthless. Have to be ruthless. We can really turn it around this quarter, put the screws on them and set ourselves up for a big last quarter.
Now Antonio, can she produce some brilliance? Oh, you bet she can, Ebony Antonio. Fremantle's defence desperately trying to hold on. O'Sullivan, her kick is going straight to Eddie. She can line up for a 45 to the goal line, and there's the drought broken.
But they will head back to Perth, Fremantle with their first loss of the season.
To end up at this stage on that road trip 4-on-1, you said to me before we left that that's what we're going to do. We're taking that in a heartbeat. We've given ourselves the opportunity by how hard we've worked and how strong we've stayed together through adversity through this time, and now we have to keep going forward. On sad face, this girl's done a really good job, okay? Really good job. We deserve to hold it up high as we walk out. Well done.
Yeah, really proud of everyone to go on a 5-game road trip and win 4 out of 5 is a really great effort, especially having to back up on obviously those shorter breaks in between games. I thought we did really, really well, but now excited to go home.